Summer's supposed to be the easy season. So why are so many people quietly Googling a therapist between summer Fridays? Because more daylight doesn't fix the hard stuff. Sometimes it just turns the volume up. Grow does therapy differently. Therapy is not only for when you're in crisis. Grow Therapy is here for all the moments when you decide you want more. More support, more clarity, more tools. Mental health isn't a destination you reach, it's something you build, and Grow makes that easier. Grow connects you with thousands of high-quality licensed therapists across the U.S., offering both virtual and in-person sessions, nights and weekends. You can search by what matters, like insurance, specialty, identity, or availability, and get started in as little as 2 days. There are no subscriptions, no long-term commitments. You just pay per session. Grow helps you find therapy on your time. The therapist you want takes your insurance on Grow. Grow accepts over 125 insurance plans. Sessions average $21 with insurance, and some pay as little as $0 depending on their plan. Visit growtherapy.com/book now today to get started. That's growtherapy.com/book now. growtherapy.com/book now. Availability and coverage vary by state and insurance plan.
If menopause is an initiation, who are the elders? In the last 2 episodes, we explored a provocative idea. What if menopause is not a disease, not a decline, not a failure, but an initiation? Welcome back to Hot and Healthy Menopause. I'm Nicole Van Haddam, your menopause coach and your retreat-loving guide through this midlife adventure. And if menopause is an initiation, then a fascinating question emerges. Who are the elders? Who guides women through the transition? Who carries the map? Who sits beside us and says, I've walked this path before? Because every initiation throughout human history involved guides, mentors, wise women, elders, people who had crossed the threshold already. Yet millions of women are entering menopause today without recognised elders. At the same time, millions of post-menopausal women possess decades of lived experience and wisdom that often goes unnoticed. That's not just a menopause problem, that's a cultural design problem. Where did the elders go? Think about how we organise modern life. Children spend most of their day with children. Teenagers spend most of their day with teenagers. Adults spend most of their day with adults of similar ages. And older people, often they live separately from everyone else, in retirement villages, in aged care facilities, in age-segregated communities. We've normalised the separation of generations, yet for most of human history this would have seemed bizarre. Grandparents, parents, children, extended family, community elders often lived close together. Wisdom travelled naturally, not because people attended a seminar, because they shared a kitchen table. The business of ageing. Australia's aged care sector is enormous and growing rapidly. Government and private spending on aged care now exceeds tens of billions of dollars annually, with the sector projected to continue expanding as Australia's population ages. Government expenditure alone exceeds $36 billion annually, while the broader aged care market is estimated to be worth approximately $44 billion and growing. The retirement living industry is also attracting billions of dollars in investment, with major retirement village operators being bought and sold for sums exceeding $1 billion. Now let's be careful. Growth in these sectors isn't inherently bad. People need care, people need housing, people need support. But there is a question worth asking. When ageing becomes primarily an industry rather than a community responsibility, what gets lost? The cost of separation. What is the cost when older women are removed from everyday life? The cost isn't only paid by older women, the cost is paid by everyone. Women entering menopause lose access to mentors. Young mothers lose access to accumulated wisdom. Teenagers lose contact with older role models. Children lose relationships with elders, and communities lose historical memory. Society overall loses perspective. And older women themselves often lose purpose, visibility, and connection. Research consistently shows that social isolation is associated with poorer physical health, poorer mental health, cognitive decline, and increased risk of dementia. Perhaps loneliness is not an inevitable consequence of ageing. Perhaps it is a consequence of how we organise society. A radical question. What if older women are not dependents? What if they are one of society's most underutilised resources? Think about the average woman in her 60s or 70s or 80s. She may have lived through career transitions, marriage, divorce, parenting, caregiving, financial hardship, loss, success, menopause, reinvention, thousands upon thousands of lessons. And yet modern society often treats her primary identity as someone needing support rather than somebody capable of providing it. That seems like an extraordinary waste of human capital. Countries doing things differently. There are encouraging examples emerging around the world. One of the most famous comes from the Netherlands. At Humanitas, a residential care community in Deventer, university students are offered free accommodation in exchange for spending time with older residents, sharing meals, conversations, stories, life. The benefit flows both ways. Older people experience greater connection, younger people gain perspective, friendship and wisdom. Age-related stereotypes begin to dissolve. People stop seeing old people and start seeing actual human beings. Imagine that. The menopause mentor. Now imagine applying this idea to menopause. Every woman entering perimenopause is paired with several women who have already travelled through it. Not experts necessarily, not influencers, not necessarily health professionals, simply women further along the path. Women who can say, "You're not losing your mind. I experienced that too. Here's what helped me. You'll get through this." For thousands of years, this was normal. Women learned from women, not algorithms. What would change? What if every community had an elders circle? What if retirement villages partnered with schools? What if universities partnered with older women? What if menopause retreats included women in their 60s, 70s and 80s? What if workplaces invited post-menopausal women to mentor younger women? What if wisdom became visible again? I suspect we'd see lower loneliness, less ageism, better mental health, greater resilience, stronger communities, and perhaps something even more important, a healthier vision of what it means to grow older. The great fear. I sometimes wonder whether society's fear of ageing is really a fear of death. And because we fear death, we avoid older people. We separate them, we hide them, we package ageing into specialised facilities and age-restricted communities, out of sight, out of mind. But in doing so, we lose something precious. A living reminder that life continues beyond youth, beyond fertility, beyond reproductivity, beyond appearance. Older women are evidence that there is more life, more becoming, more wisdom, more depth, more self. Reimagining the elder. Maybe the elder isn't a title, maybe it's a role, a responsibility, a contribution, a relationship. And perhaps one of the great opportunities of the menopause movement is not merely helping women manage symptoms. Perhaps it is helping women reclaim elderhood itself. Because if menopause is an initiation, then we don't just need better treatments. We need elders. And maybe the women society has been overlooking are exactly the women we've been needing all along. And remember, if you are navigating the transition or you are deep into this new phase of your life, I'm here to support you and I'm here to support you to live a hot and healthy life. Thanks for listening to Hot and Healthy Menopause. If today's episode helped you, please follow the show and share it with a friend who's also navigating the transition. And remember, you'll find my free menopause symptom tracker, retreat recommendations and more resources at NicoleVanHaddam.com. This is your time to thrive, and I'll be right here to guide you through it.
Most people overpay for car insurance, not because they're careless, but because switching feels like too much hassle. That's why there's Jerry, your proactive insurance assistant. Jerry compares rates side by side from over 50 top insurers and helps you switch with ease. Jerry even tracks market rates and alerts you when it's best to shop. No spam calls, no hidden fees. Drivers who save with Jerry could save over $1,300 a year. Switch with confidence. Download the Jerry app or visit jerry.ai/Libsyn today. That's JERRY.ai/LIBSYN.